Hola, gringas y gringos, and welcome to
Gringos Are Us.
Expats with a Plan.
I'm Mark.
I'm Gina.
This week we're going to talk money in Oaxaca City. Coming up next.
Welcome back. This is our cost of living video for Oaxaca de Juarez, where we stayed for 10 weeks. Of course, we're going to give you this information based on a monthly stay. And, well, it wasn't as expensive as I thought it was going to be, honestly. But
No, it came out better than what we thought.
Yeah. So why don't we just get to the details? Every video, I strive to get our budget under $3,000 US if it's at all possible. It really hasn't worked out that way because as we travel, we've noticed that the Airbnbs are getting more and more expensive, and it's just
And
the way it is.
inflation has had an impact on that.
But we are paying Airbnb rate.
Yep.
We always remind people that Airbnb is just about double what you could expect to pay in rent for the type of place that we have.
That's just the way the cookie crumbles on that one. Seems that has been the magic number. We talk to our host, and that keeps getting reaffirmed almost every time.
Exactly. So your mileage may vary. We do realize that there's many of you who are renting in Mexico. You've been here for a while. You may be living in local neighborhoods and you're not paying as much as what we're quoting, but that's really what it's about.
And good for you.
Absolutely. We are in Airbnbs. Half of what we spend is basically fees from Airbnb.
Both on the host side and on our side. We just can't get away from them.
Now, we did see an increase in the exchange rate. The peso during our time in Oaxaca City was approximately 20 pesos per US dollar.
Yeah, it started out a little under when we got there and was a little over when we got ready to leave. So average rate, about 20 pesos to the dollar.
If you see us looking down, it's because I have my laptop right here so that we can look at the slide deck and accurately present the numbers to you.
Otherwise, God only knows what might come out.
Okay, so let's get to our first major expense.
So,
Our Airbnb cost us 44,600 pesos per month. That is approximately 2,230 US dollars. Remember, that's Airbnb rate.
yeah,
You can anticipate that place would probably run about $1,100 a month in rent.
it was actually a pretty good bargain. When we first booked it, it was sort of like, oh man, we're doing this and we got to walk outside. But by the time we were done, we were like, it was worth it. It was definitely an experience that we had not yet encountered in Mexico. So glad we did it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very unique Airbnb, had a lot of character. I liked it a lot. The jardín was just so lovely. And it was really nice to have a dedicated space as the office where I could work. And, the bedroom was very comfortable. It was large. It's very spacious.
Yeah, the only downside was the garage door was designed for smaller Mexican cars. It was a tight fit getting ours in there. So that was and if that's the only drawback, that's pretty hard to argue.
It is. And you also have to understand that this included our utilities.
Yes.
This included water, which in Oaxaca can be very scarce at times and often will require the delivery with a water tanker truck. So there's an expense in that. There's an expense in having gas that heats the water. There, of course, is electricity, and this location had three CFE meters, but all that was included. So think about that for a moment.
And the internet.
And the internet, yes. So it was basically $1,100 a month if it was rent. I don't think it was that bad.
No.
So in comparison, we spent approximately $1,400 USD on Airbnb in San Luis Potosí. and $28.80 on an Airbnb in Merida, which was colonial.
Yes,
So
it
it was a
was.
little more along the lines of the type of place that we had. Of course, the Airbnb in Merida did not include the CFE bill because of air conditioning. The Airbnb in San Luis Potosi was all inclusive.
Yep. But you had to hike the 3 sets of stairs to get there.
That is true. And it was very small. We did do some activities while we were in Oaxaca. We got our faces painted. We went to Monte Aban
Yes, we did the Caifanes.
concert,
Concert.
paid for a tour
Oh, that's right.
of the cemeteries for Dia de Muertos. And so in total, our activity fees came to 2,040 pesos or 102 US dollars per month.
Not bad.
I don't think so.
No.
And groceries. Well,
Actually, a bit of a shocker.
it really was.
It was substantially, I mean, almost 20% lower than what we normally spend in a month. And not quite sure how that occurred. Part of it is that there was such good economical food that was close to us that we didn't cook as much. So I think that, and then the flavor of the food was also so good. So, sort of like, why are we cooking when we can have
I mean,
this?
we had a few home deliveries.
Mm-hmm.
We went out to local comidas, and they were relatively inexpensive. Usually, we are spending between $500 and $550 a month on groceries. So it was pretty much a shock that we only spent about $400
Yeah.
a month. So our grocery bill did come to 8,080 pesos per month during our stay.
That's a good number.
Yeah, it is. Our insurance. This is a jump. This is a jump because recently, Safety Wing Nomad Insurance had a price hike. I've wondered if possibly the price hike just conveniently happened to come right after I submitted a very large $5,000 claim for a broken arm. But no, I went in as a total stranger without any account on a totally different browser, and I checked.
It was up there.
It was up for everybody.
Yep.
It went up across the board. It's just that it goes up in higher increments as you are in an older age bracket. So we did see, I think it was about a $60 to $70 a month.
Well, we went from
increase.
273 to 342, so basically $69
Yeah, about
a month.
$70 hike.
Mhm.
So our insurance for the month cost us 7,480 pesos, or approximately 374 US dollars. 32 of that is Mexican automobile insurance that we pay in one yearly lump sum.
Boom, done.
Yeah. And then Safety Wing is 342 per month. Medical expenses. I can't really think of what it is we did in Oaxaca aside from medications.
That's what it was.
Just maintenance meds. Yeah, maintenance meds. We picked up a bunch of stuff. One big shopping trip, I think it was. Two. There was two.
Because I walked all the way over there and got it and then got back and we were like, I need this. And so we went right back to the Ahorro.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. So 780 pesos per month or $38. Not so bad.
No.
Personal services. Well, now personal services in this case is going to be our laundry and housekeeping. We did have a housekeeper. The housekeeper was 700 pesos. We would hire her every 2 weeks.
Yep.
She cleaned the entire hacienda. And this is a big place. The rooms are large. She would be there easily.
4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yep.
would say minimum of 4 hours.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was very fair, and she did a wonderful job. So laundry.
We did not have a washer or dryer, so it was to the lavanderia we go. And, got to give them credit. I watched them fold shirts. They can flat out. I thought they had one of the little folding
Oh, I did
things,
too.
and
Their
nope.
folding was so pristine. I thought they had one of those little folding devices. No,
No.
that's impressive.
Yeah.
But, for just about 3 months, it was 10 weeks, that came to a total of 1460 in pesos or
Per month.
per month
Yeah.
or $73 per month. Next up are the restaurants, and we ate a lot. This is going to include home deliveries. We had multiple home deliveries, and we ate out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We really did. Sometimes a meal was like $5 a person, a big meal. Sometimes it was a little bit more depending on where it was, Centro.
Yes. Oh God. Yeah.
But 1780 in pesos per month, $89 per month. And
That number is actually in keeping with most of our other stays, which is nice because that number didn't go up significantly while the groceries went down, which is about what you would figure would happen.
Right.
Oh, then you're going to eat out more. Well, then your grocery
Right.
bill goes down, the other goes up. But this is pretty in line with what it normally is.
I would say this is one of the most affordable cities that we've eaten in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And normally, just for the sake of being totally transparent, normally we do one big meal, or we go to some high-end restaurant, and we really didn't do that this time. And I think it was probably because the food was so good at all the places.
Right.
It was like, why would we want to go pay more when this is just knocking it out of the park?
Yeah. Sometimes those high-end restaurants we go specifically for something like a really good steak. Why? Oaxaca's food is so good.
Yeah.
You don't need
Well, I wouldn't have turned one down, but yeah.
I know. Now, transportation is really, really low this month because we didn't go anywhere. If we needed groceries, we walked to the Chedraui and we took a cab back.
And it was 60 pesos for the cab ride back. And then we went to the concert. We took a cab there.
The only time we got the car out was to go to Monte Aban.
See?
The
Yep.
whole time we were there. So the 360 pesos per month or $18 a month that you see, honestly, was mostly cab fare.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I don't think we got gas the entire time we were there. So
No. Utilities. Okay, so utilities in this case, normally this would be if we paid the CFE bill, which we did not. It would cover the AT&T US cellular account that we have.
which is about half of that. Or no, almost all of that.
Most of it.
Yeah.
It pays for a recharge on my Telcel account. And if we have the internet activated, it would pay for Starlink, but we do not. So right now, this is just AT&T and Telcel. And that comes to 3,100 pesos per month or 155 US dollars.
Yeah, and 140 plus that is going to the other side of the border. So
And
yeah.
that's absolutely true because the Telcel is $10 or 200 pesos. So yeah, definitely spending more there. Okay, so what does it never include? Well, it never includes his cigars, streaming services, which we pretty much have just eliminated, gifts, our mail forwarding service, or any subscriptions that we have for anything.
Yeah, and almost all the subscriptions we have left now are related to YouTube. I mean, there's very few of the others we have left because when we switched to VCTV, goodbye.
Yeah, I eliminated all of our streaming services, every one of them. So really the only subscriptions that we have right now are just like personal things that maybe we like to have and
Spotify.
things that support the YouTube channel.
Yep.
And that would include, editing stuff, music, things like that. So what does it include? It includes our accommodation. It includes activities, groceries, insurance, medical expenses, personal services, restaurants, transportation, and utilities. And the grand total per month for our stay in Oaxaca was
69,700 pesos, just a tick under 70,000 pesos.
which is
$3,485,
or
$116 a day. Which, breaking that down, Oaxaca is definitely one of the most affordable cities that we've encountered.
It is. It is. It's not the most affordable, but definitely in that.
It's in the lower echelon.
Sure. Now, again, that is the Airbnb rate. If we were paying rent, that 69,700 pesos would turn into,
About 47,380.
which means the US dollar amount would go from 34.85 to,
2369.
and that $116 a day,
Going to drop all the way down to $79 a day.
that's a whole lot better.
That's a much better number.
That's under $3,000 a month.
Substantially under $3,000 a month.
Exactly. So, in comparison, let's talk about some other places. Our best cost-effective stay so far has been San Luis Potosi,
Doesn't want to give up that top spot.
$32.14 Airbnb rate. The highest was Playa Car, again Airbnb,
Yep.
and this stay, $34.85. So, as you can see, Oaxaca is kind of in the middle there.
And getting closer to the bottom side.
Getting closer to the bottom side, yeah.
I mean, once you look at it all the way around, QR area is Riviera Maya is going to be at the top. Tulum, Playa Car, that was expensive, and this is back to the Central Highlands, and we have found that the Central Highlands tend to be more affordable across the board.
Yes, they do. Okay, so this is where we're going to talk about our final impressions of Oaxaca. Things we liked, things we didn't like, and if we think this place might be a contender. So, I'm going to ask you, what did you love about Oaxaca?
Well, the food obviously comes first to mind. That's that easily jumps right to the top of the list. The walkability was very nice there. I mean, we walked a lot, and because we didn't take the car out, but it was an easy walk.
Not a lot of hills, at
Nope.
least not where we were. Don't be fooled, Oaxaca does have hills, and people do live on them.
Yeah. Well, the closer you get to Centro, the flatter it is.
Yeah.
And especially on the south side. If you go to the northern side of Oaxaca, and especially the northwestern side, it does start to get a little bit hillier.
Yeah.
But yeah, the walkability, and of course, the wonderful people of Mexico are the same. We have not encountered a bad place yet.
No.
So that really almost becomes a push across the board when we start looking at places. Is the people are fantastic everywhere. So that's always a plus, and it's a plus for every city.
I agree. Now, I'm going to say I agree with him on the food. That was a huge, huge, huge plus because the food is amazing. It has basically become my favorite place to eat so far in Mexico. The people were fantastic. The people who were on our street and in our neighborhood were very nice, kind people, a lot of fun. Anytime I heard a banda somewhere on the street, I'd go outside and people would laugh because they saw me coming. They knew what I was looking for, and they would point me to the right direction. And, it was just a lot of fun. There was a strong sense of community on that street and in that neighborhood.
Yes.
I like that. We can't really say much about the other neighborhoods. I can tell you that, I walked through Povo, barrio of Povo, to get to the barrio of Jaralaco. Those were also very strong community, very kind people. But I did notice the bit of gentrification, particularly in Jaralaco and, of course, in Centro. Yeah.
There's a slight edge in Oaxaca that I felt that I had not experienced in any of the other cities that we've been in yet. And I didn't feel like we were in danger or anything else. It's just a little bit how's the best way of saying this? Rougher around the edges, just a touch.
Maybe
Look,
a little.
crimes of opportunity and things like that have
Yeah.
been going up, and
There's
and
a
so,
rough element.
yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying is there's just, I felt like I had to be on my guard
Yes.
a little bit more
Yes.
than let's just say same size, similar size city, Merida. Never felt that. In
I was
Merida.
just going to say that. I felt so very comfortable and very safe in Merida, maybe foolishly, but Merida has that great reputation of being in a very safe place. And I never felt like I needed to have him by my side. I could walk around at midnight by myself as a woman in Merida and never be concerned about it. But because of the increase in poverty, the crimes of opportunity and what spurs that on,
and desperation.
yeah. There is a criminal element on the rise in Oaxaca, and there are displaced people who can no longer live in places that their families have lived for decades, that are not happy about the increase in tourism that Oaxaca gets. Yes, tourism is huge for Oaxaca. It drives about 70 to 80% of their economy. So it is important to them. But it's a double-edged sword. That very same tourism leads to opportunity for foreign investments and raising rents and using up the water supplies and just all kinds of things that cause problems for the people who live there.
Yeah, because the water situation, just for an example, the hotels are not subject to the same laws that govern the barrios and the casas in the barrios. So, because they want to make sure that if, John Smith from the United States wants to come down and take a 15-minute hot shower, he's going to have that water available for him to do that. Well, somebody's got to give up the water for Mr. Smith to take that shower.
Yeah, so this family down the street that needs their Tinaco filled can't get the water for a week or 2 or 3 because it's being diverted to the hotels.
Yeah, there's some inequities that are going on there that.
Yeah.
And how do you rectify it? Oh, that's a.
I don't know.
That's an onion that we're not going to even start to peel because we don't have an answer.
With the rise in crime and for example, Centro de Abastos Mercado area is very well known for basically pickpockets and things like that. Well, I mean, we were there and we kept very good eye on our things.
Yep.
And we were okay. But it's very easy to understand how these crimes could occur. It doesn't take much. A bump into somebody and your wallet could be gone, No,
it's one of those that I would put on the list of places that we would return to for Dia de Muertos in something like that. Would I put it on the list as far as living there and dropping anchor? I don't think it can make up the ground that it's behind some of the others.
I think you could. I absolutely think you could and would live a wonderfully enriched life in Oaxaca. You would have to make some concessions. You could not be a gringo. You would have to do your best to assimilate. You would have to be humble. And you would probably really have to be a good supportive member of the community and demonstrate to people who have a distrust of you that you could be trusted.
Well,
and that would take some work.
And what you're saying is true of wherever you go.
Yes.
If you want to
truly
have the best life. But I just don't know if it has enough.
I think in Oaxaca right now, that is really, really, really what it would take because people in Oaxaca really are very distrustful at times of this gringo element coming in and changing their life.
It's sort of like Missouri. It's the show me state. Prove to me.
Prove to me that you can be a member of the community and not come in and raise our cost of living or come in with entitlements. It's kind of like the vibe you get.
Yeah.
I think so too.
And in the 10 weeks we were there, our street, they all were like, yeah, okay, yeah,
Oh yeah,
good folks. you
yeah,
know.
yeah. I mean, we try our best to be good citizens. We're not really citizens, but you know what I mean.
Good guests.
Good guests.
Yes.
And we really do try to respect the culture and the people everywhere we go.
Mm-hmm.
But you know how it is. It takes one bad apple, right, to ruin the bunch, and people form an opinion before they really get to know who you are. And so when you choose to live in a place like that, you really do have to go that extra mile to prove yourself.
As you should.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So I like Oaxaca. Could I live there? Oh, yeah. Oh, good God, yeah. I could walk around every day and find something new to see. And you cannot beat the food or the people in general. I mean, it was really a very pleasant stay. I liked where we stayed. We wouldn't have to have a place like that and still enjoy Oaxaca. I like the fact that the hospitals are close by, the airport is close by. We had a concert venue. You know, to me, what more can you ask for?
I just think that when I put it down, pros and cons, there are other cities that are got just a little bit more in the food. While yes, the food is head and shoulders above everybody else, I don't know if I can elevate it above a couple other cities. So
it's kind of somewhere in the middle of the pack. We're not going to say it's bad. It's not bad.
No.
If it's good for you and this is what you're looking for, it's a wonderful place to stay. But he's right. Of the places that we have stayed, there are enough that are just above Oaxaca that it's probably not going to make it as a place where we settle, simply because of these other locations that have the edge for us.
Yep.
And you know, if you've seen the video that we did previously with Mary has been there. Video up here.
6 years.
She's been there 6 years. Yeah, and she's very happy there.
If somebody did not do what we were doing and try out all the different cities, if you were to say, I'm going to Oaxaca, you would go, good choice.
Yeah, you would land in Oaxaca, and if you didn't go anywhere else, you could easily be like, yeah, this is great.
That pretty much sums up where we are with Oaxaca.
Well, why don't you leave us some comments and let us know how you feel about Oaxaca? Yeah, down below, baby.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. That is our cost of living wrap up and our final impressions of Oaxaca de Juarez. We are Gringos R Us.
Expats with a plan.
Remember, we're doing it.
You can too. And up on the stairs there are some more videos working their way up.
Hasta la próxima.
Adios.